COVID-19 lockdowns fell like a hammer blow on small businesses. To the Victorian Government's credit, it swiftly announced an economic survival package to provide $10,000 grants to eligible small business owners. The fund was established and scaled at speed, but soon after, my office was inundated with complaints. I received more than 1,100 complaints about the fund. There was desperation in people's voices. They were counting on the grant to pay bills, rent, wages, to survive.
The problem was this letter that I'd received with the link that I hadn't used it, and that's why they thought that I'd put in 2 applications, which I hadn't. And so they were difficulties that, you knew you had to have the information right, but to find your way through the computer system in order to do it was horrific.
And at first it was pretty difficult to wade through the internet and look at all the forms and work out whether you were eligible or not. And in our case, a spelling mistake in an email address meant that it went all wrong.
Good intentions got lost in translation. Business owners were denied the grant because their applications remained in draft, awaiting further information when the deadline expired. There were typos on their application. They provided information through the wrong link, and there were delays. The department had 9 days to implement the program, but it missed some of the key checks and balances that would have picked up the inevitable flaws. Many complaints could have been resolved without coming to my office had the department been more reasonable at the time.
Well, I'm a small business person and I'm a single income earner, and that $10,000 would have helped me immensely. So we had to sort of do some research on it, and finally I got the form, filled it out in May. I received an email a few weeks later saying that they couldn't read the attachments that they asked for, and rang and got nowhere. So I was getting nowhere, and I said, can't you take my number? And no, it's just shut down and it's too late, is what I got.
To the department's credit, it engaged constructively with my office from the outset, resolving many complaints and improving their processes along the way. Many people received their grants while the investigation was ongoing. And now, as a result of my investigation, about 12,000 business owners may be able to reapply to the fund. That's potentially over $100 million going back into the small business community. Sometimes it takes the nudge of the Ombudsman's elbow to encourage public servants to do the right thing. In the end, that they do the right thing is what matters.